Good afternoon and welcome to the results show for Class H, the Outlaws, the German air-cooled class in the Concours Virtual, presented by Haggerty. This afternoon's class is sponsored by the Adobe Road Winery, and we'll be having a virtual wine tasting with them later in the Concours. So please look out for the information relating to that. I'm Jeff Love, I'm the co-chair of the Concours. To my right is David Lillywhite, also co-chair, and we're joined by Pixar's Jay Ward, who was chief judge of this particular class. So, David, tell me first, please, who came third, second, and first in the People's Vote?
Okay, so the People's Vote, I say every time now we had a lot of votes, but this one was really interesting in that normally we've got some fairly clear front runners. This time it was spread right across the field. But again, we've got interesting cars in the top three. So number three, third place, is the 1958 Okrasa Special, which is owned by Steve Wright. So congratulations, Steve. That's a really interesting car because it was started in the 50s and 60s by a garage owner and then abandoned. And so when Steve got it, he actually finished it sort of, decades on. And he's driven it all over Europe already. So an amazing thing, and do have a look at it if you haven't seen it already because it's fantastic. In second place, we have the 1956 VW Beetle that belongs to Miles Collier of the Collier Collection and Revs Institute. And the Revs Institute and Collier Collection, they are full of really, really special race cars. And then you've got this Beetle and you think, well, it looks standard. And actually it's not at all. It's alloy bodied. It's got all kinds of really, really cool mods. So congratulations, Miles. We're really chuffed that that's in there. First place, 1967 VW Beetle. It's called Red Zeppelin. It's UK based. It was built by two brothers. It belongs to Jay Clark. Him and his brother built it. And they did it in a lockup. And they taught themselves how to weld. They taught themselves how to rebuild an engine. And every night they would have to cart the welder away so it didn't get stolen overnight. They really, really worked hard on this. And to be honest, you wouldn't know. It's a fantastic looking car. And it's first place. We're really chuffed. So congratulations, Jay. And that's it.
That's fantastic. That Red Zeppelin, it gets around a lot as well, doesn't it? It's seen in a lot of the VW events around the country and around Europe. Yeah,
it's a really well-known car now. Great thing. It was built by painted by the Paint Box in Essex in the UK. Yeah, they're going to be really chuffed.
Great. So they've got the popular vote, and so that leaves us with the judges' vote, and obviously the winner of the judges' vote gets through to the best in show announcements and gets a chance to become best in show. So Jay, I know this was a difficult class. There were a wide variety of opinions and judges. Take us through some of the challenges of the judging for this particular class.
Yeah, indeed, it was difficult, and much like People's Vote, it was all over the board. We had 14 entries in the Outlaw class, and almost all of them, 10 out of the 14, received a nod by some judge for first, second, or third place. So it was really difficult to narrow it down. But I do have the results, and we do have a clear winner. Starting with third place, identical to the People's Choice, was the 58 Okrasa that Steve had built that David had mentioned earlier. That same car took third place for us. Neat car, just that it was hand formed and it looks like a factory special. The Okrasa took third for us. Moving up the order, our second place car was very, very much a contender for first place, and that was the John Oates 356 built by Rod Emery. That was our second in class, and I really was actually surprised that it didn't take first because it was back and forth, up and down, very, very close to taking first in class for us. But the car that did rise to the top by just a slight margin, and yet beautiful, great car, is Delwyn Streamliner, the 1952 356 he built as a tribute to a factory Porsche Streamliner that just has such a tremendous build quality, a beautiful car, so well finished, and that took our best in class.
That's an amazing car, isn't it? I mean, we know Delwyn quite well. He's been a contributor to some of the magazines that David and I have worked on in the past, and he's built something completely of his own vision in partnership with the coach builder, wasn't he?
Yeah, and when you look at the car, the level of detail he went to was obviously he's a very detail-oriented person, and every fastener, every clip, every edge was so well finished and so well thought out that I think it's probably more beautiful than a factory build effort from that era by far. I think the fit and finish is beyond what Porsche would have done in 1952. So that says something, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And I think it's been given a tribute from Rod Emery as well. I mean, Rod is seen as quite often as one of the world's greatest proponents of outlaw building. And I know he's seen the car and he was very impressed when he saw it at the Goodwood last year, I think it was.
That's correct. We were both at the Revival last year, and we both saw it at the Revival last year, and it really looks like a factory effort when you look at it. It just looks like something absolutely Porsche would have built if they could have, and that's what I think that car is all about.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much again, Jay. I know you've ran a couple of the classes for us, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you so far. Thank you very much for everyone who voted in this class, and to the judges for their deliberations. It was a tough class. 14 cars, a variety of some very stock looking, others very custom built. But I think the judges came to the right conclusion. I think that'll be a really interesting car to put up against some of the more traditional cars in the Best in Show. So again, thank you very much to Adobe Road Winery. Look out for the virtual wine tasting to come in the next couple of weeks. Thank you to Haggerty for presenting the Concours, and ultimately this goes towards UNICEF, their coronavirus global appeal. So if you get a chance, please visit our Just Giving page and donate, and look forward to the next few sessions. Thank you very much.